All right, welcome to another edition of
Horseman,
Fight
yeah.
IQ with
Back in the
Rob
mix.
and Dan.
Robin Den. Us, y'all.
Us,
Martial arts community.
martial arts community. And in this edition, we're going to get right into it. We'll start chopping it up on grappling, well, martial arts in general and
Uh,
injuries, because a lot of times people say, "Oh, don't start BJJ as an example because your whole body's gonna fall apart," or I've been grappling for 4 years and I have all these injuries, and you
yeah.
can't get out of bed in the morning, whatever the case is. But I think we have a different point of view, being fight IQ, like that
Yeah.
point of view, fight IQ.
Yeah.
We we want to talk about how you still can train to kill, but save your body as well. So, oosh.
Oh, welcome everyone. Nice start, big dog. That was beautifully put. I mean, as we all have different perspectives and how we train as well. BJJ, judo, in general, you're gonna get hurt. It is a contact sport, so you're gonna get a little aches and pains here and there. But it depends, like how intensity with the training intensity, training frequency as well too. You know how long you're gonna train for. If you're 20 years old, just know you're gonna get back quicker. You're gonna recover quicker. If you're over like 35, 40, I would say 2 to 3 times a week, and then communicate to the training partner. Like, listen, today I had my back is hurting, or I did some legs the other day, so now it's sore. So kind of let's just focus on technique heavy up, up top or low, whatever the case, and just communicate that. Ego, put that aside. A lot of people like, yeah, I'm not really gonna tap to this. Well, you saying that, but your body's saying, I think you should. you
Yes,
know?
sir. And you actually just summarized the whole podcast, and we'll break down each piece
Yes,
because
yes, yes, yes.
each of those pieces is important, right? Because
Yeah,
again,
of course.
a lot of what we like to talk about on Fight IQ is how do we continue to train at an
Mhm.
intensity that allows us to be realistic, right?
Yeah.
But also, how do we
Mhm.
train so that we're not destroyed, right? So
Yes.
if I can offer one piece, and one of the items that you brought up is, we'll
Mhm.
start with just you as a person, your age,
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
physical ability, and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And I feel like, yeah, you hit one of the nails right off the bat. Is if you're younger and you're more flexible and more
Mhm.
energetic, or whatever it is,
Yeah.
yeah, you're gonna have a quicker recovery, and you'll be
Yeah.
able to bounce back quicker. So yeah, as you age and you're an older grappler, or sparring, doing Muay Thai, any of that stuff, yeah, you need to
Exactly.
give yourself some recovery for sure.
Yeah. You definitely, and dive into, ask questions, ask the teacher question, like what do you think is good for recovery? People talk about amino acids if you want to dive into that, or just something as simple as
A
banana,
cold
orange juice.
plunge.
Yeah, a cold plunge, that, especially that. I was doing that actually when I first started BJJ, and it worked. It worked. It just after a while, it's just like, dang, I gotta get into that cold water. Or
Yeah,
I
you're
gotta
like
get to that.
freezing cold, man.
Yeah,
Is this worth getting rid of the
yeah.
inflammation?
You know what I'm saying? But it does work. It does kind of keep you, kind of even keel where you don't get, too many injuries, too much soreness. But after a while, I look at it as like we do in kung fu and karate, martial arts, as iron body training, so we're preparing our body for like the typical strike or hit from an average person might not be as effective as somebody else who don't train. So I look at it like you kind of building that shell, that callus over your whole body when
Rubbing the
yeah,
jowl
yeah, you know
in.
what I'm saying? Yeah. Getting the legs and stuff ready. So you look at it in that standpoint, and that's what makes a good fighter, great fighter, average fighter, and how many times you step into that ring, and then the awareness, fight IQ, that's
IQ.
definitely built up.
Yep. And then beyond the actual, how do I recover, and,
Mhm.
what should I be doing? Another part of that is, not every round should be a killer round, right? So I get it if you're getting ready for a competition and you're
Mhm.
trying to ramp up, or you want that, like, that intensity so that you feel like
Mhm.
what it really feels like to really grapple with somebody. But don't make every role like that. Don't make
Yes.
every training day like that. Maybe,
Yeah.
do some positional sparring, maybe work on
Yes.
some technique, maybe,
Mhm.
go 50-50. But we always say that, and then it turns
Yeah.
into sixty
And then it
fifty, 70-90.
yeah, then it changes up, right? It's some way, some shit, way before it's like the ego take a place, like, I'm not gonna let this happen. And then you just
Ego.
all this, that's that ego that, sometimes it happens. And but you draw up a good point, like starting from positional, like I guess from the guy having, having your back or in a half guard, like, how would you, shrimp out, frame, get the elbows in, try to, move your hips and stuff like that. Those are the minor things I feel like people should like tap into in regards to good training reps. I heard about some strikers and they were saying like, yo, we don't even go 100% when we spar because why? We're gonna get hurt and now we can't prepare for a fight or we can't now we're gonna slow our progress down. So the whole thing about sparring, if you're a competitive fighter, is to kind of set traps, looking like how people would react to this. All right, this person reacts to my jab, a shoulder move or something like that. So all that's supposed to be computing in your brain while you're doing that. And if you want to be here for longevity, you definitely got to take it easy. Definitely got to take it easy.
Yeah, and get your mind right, like we were just saying with the whole ego
Yeah,
thing. It's so difficult because especially as you go up in rank and you're a purple belt, the brown belt, the black, whatever it
yeah,
is, it's like now you're the target of like the entire gym, and it shouldn't be that way, but a
yeah,
lot of
certainly.
times it is, and it's unfortunate, but it's all on you because here's the deal. The truth is if for me, as an older grappler, it's like,
Mhm.
well, do I want to walk around like all busted up with a little
Yeah,
bit of a bruised ego, or do I
yeah,
want to like, it's I got to figure it out. I
you
and I
got it.
and I've
Hmm.
and I've gone a long time like being 100%, and then you know what I pay for it. So,
Yeah,
just a little tip for everybody listening, it's really important to really think about your long-term health
yeah,
and I want to grapple until I'm 90,
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yes,
not going to be able to
exactly.
do that if my fingers are all broken.
Yeah. Look, I'm having so much like bicep because like bicep arm pulls. Like once a guy get the arm, I'm tapping. I'm not even trying to play around like that. Like, because like I said, a lot of people don't know their own strength too. And a lot of them are just kind of you get toned out going to a zone tunnel vision, and you tap and the person still got the arm. Like, all right, bro, all right. So it's just like kind of be aware of that if you're obviously rolling, and there's something that just happens. Like sometimes some guys got the Bruce Lee gloves on, I call them, the UFC gloves on, and then they punch by mistake in a pinky jam. It's like, all right, so you shouldn't have kept your pinky up, and now you're out. Now you can't really strike. So it's all about having that awareness and kind of easing into certain things. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. Yeah, be
uh,
smart. Be
yeah, just be
smart.
smart.
And it's okay when you're training. So another tip, it's okay
Mm,
when you're training to know who's in your gym. So obviously
mm,
if you go to a gym and you're always getting injured and everyone's
yeah,
gunning for you,
yeah,
I don't know, maybe that might not be the place you want to be. I'm
yeah,
not saying like, hey, this place is not good. I'm just saying, you
mm,
know, every fight doesn't have to be to the death. And
yeah,
again, you do want to have some of those fights, but you also want to
yeah.
have longevity. So I find it like a balance.
Gotta
And you can
definitely
also
find a
tell
balance.
somebody, like, I'll pass. Like, hey, let's roll. I'll pass.
Yeah,
Because
because
I
yeah,
don't want my shoulder ripped out again because you don't know how to
yeah.
go
You don't
50%.
know how to be easy, exactly. They use it's the joke. I don't know if we spoke about this before, but the joke is like who's the most dangerous color belt on the mat, and a lot of people
White
say
belt.
the white belt, the white belt. Now they so spazzy and they still know their own strength, and you just everything is tensed and
Yeah. And those are the
Tasmanian
people
devil.
you actually said it before, like with the pinky out. So a lot of times, like they'll go to grapple, like grab you, or get a
Mm.
grip, and it's like blam, like the
Yeah,
finger in the
yeah,
eye, or yeah. So it's a little bit of a different topic, but makes it's a good fit in the sense
yeah.
that it goes with look, if you're gonna grapple or
Mm-hmm.
strike or train with anybody and you want longevity in this and you
Hmm.
you it's a contact sport, you're gonna get injured.
Yeah, you're
But is
going
it
to
any more dangerous than
football.
pickleball?
Hmm.
Pickleball, right? I use pick. You know how many times
Yeah.
I hear people like, I was playing. I'm like, bro, why are you in the leg cast? Yeah, I was playing pickleball. Like,
What?
dude, I'm doing like I'm fighting people and I'm good, man. Like, what kind of pickleball are you playing? So
Oh
everything's danger
man.
and everything.
Yeah,
It's risk and
it's
everything.
true. It's definitely true. It's all about, the awareness and stuff. And sometimes things happen, it just happens that way. A lot of times you're not going there thinking that you're gonna leave with a heel hook that resorted to like your knee getting ripped out, and it's like, oh man, now you in a cast 6 weeks, 8 weeks, like geez. So but like one of the main things I do though, and a lot of my partners and stuff, they know when we spar, we talk like, yo, is anything good? Like,
Communicate.
what I'm saying? Communicate that, yo, listen, everybody good. Like we could go kind of 80% of like your arm and shoulder. I said, yeah, nah, my left knee and stuff. I was like, all right, I got you. I mean, sometimes I still forget, but I don't go bonkers now because I know you already stated in the beginning of the role, like I'm injured, so it
So
is what it is.
so just to start to button up the topic, what's really funny, and we'll end it with like a kind of like a little bit of humor. How
Yeah.
funny is it? These two things. These are two funnies, right? Every time I get on the mat, I'm like, yo, my shoulder, my elbow, and my knee. Like it's like
Yeah.
I got a whole list of like a
Yeah.
doctor's note.
It's true.
And then the other thing is like we're getting out of bed every morning like the Tin Man. Like I gotta warm up.
Yeah. The back and everything. Got it. And that's what I find myself doing more a lot too, like getting up and warming up. I used to before the grappling, I was doing like my kung fu forms, my Wing Chun forms in the morning, like Tai Chi movements and stuff. Now
Tai
I find
Chi.
myself just trying to tap the body, the lymphatic drainage now. I'm
Yeah.
jumping, doing a little hop, stretching and everything because like you said, our body goes through a lot. And most times like we get from jits a good 15 rounds. You ain't coming home and jumping in the cold shower. You just and lay down on the bed, So it's like most time that happen. But I like those matches. I like those where we keep on going back and forth and you just drenched out and then it just like So
Yeah,
it's just
you need some hard training, man. But
yes,
just
it's
just
worth it from
again,
time to time.
the key is not every single time you fight. Just train
And then,
smart, train
yes,
hard and smart. Fight
train hard
IQ.
and smart. Yeah, fight IQ. Oh,
All right. So the last segment, just real quick to
yeah,
button
yeah.
it up. Deadly Art of
Woo!
Survival, 27th edition, out
Yeah,
now. Right. So we're also reps for Deadly Art of Survival magazine. We always
us.
try to promote not just Fight IQ, but Deadly Art of
Yeah,
Survival magazine.
definitely,
And
definitely.
pick up your copy. Put the link in the comments.
Us.
Hit that bell, subscribe, like, hook us up, talk to
Fight
us. What do you want to hear
IQ.
about? What do you
Yes,
want to hear
comment.
from Seafood Dan and Rob? What do you want to hear us talk about?
See y'all soon, guys. Us.
See you soon. Us.